future of climatic instability and uncertainty is on the horizon. This is the story of humanity, and how it rose from caves to cause a global catastrophe of unprecedented scale. But this is also the story of how, if we act now, we can restore harmony and balance to the natural world and ensure a greener, cleaner future for all life on Earth.
Right, hello out there and welcome to English Teacher Plays. We're here with Finding Ice, which is a new game. It's on Steam, and full disclosure, I did receive my copy of the game for free. That was just what came up at the start. I liked the voice acting. It was a little bit awkward because it sounded like a young guy trying to sound like an older guy. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it might have been better just to have them talk in their normal voice. I don't know. That might be someone's normal voice, and I might just be clowning on their voice, and I'm sorry about that. But if it was a younger guy trying to sound like an older guy, just have them do a normal voice instead of a sort of fictitious one. It's generally better. I mean, there are really good voice actors out there and stuff who can deliver a believable performance in a different kind of age bracket or whatever. But yeah. I like that it was there though. So we're gonna play. I guess we're gonna try and save the planet from the Holocene. You know, from the humans. Okay,
my story begins in the far, barren lands of the north, and the ice that stretched for miles beyond the horizon.
Cool, voice acting. That's a better voice than the first one. All right, we'll just follow the path. We've got an eagle friend. That's cool. Oh, we can sprint. Okay. Let's just have a look around. Okay, it's quite pretty. It's very minimalist. We'll grab a screeny there. It's a very minimalist sort of, got some blue grass and stuff. That's very cool. What is that?
I left the place I knew in search of food to bring back to my family. I looked high and low, eventually discovering an Arctic hare amongst the undergrowth.
Whom I murdered and then took him back to my family. There's an amazing comic strip called Perry Bible Fellowship, and one of them has this rabbit stealing food from the farmer, and the farmer's trying to murder him. And then the next frame shows like the rabbit eating the food, but then the family is like starving because they don't have enough food. I don't know. That's a weird comic strip. It's a weird online comic strip. If you're looking for something odd to do with your time, check out the Perry Bible Fellowship. I haven't read it in a while. I think it's still there. There are tons and tons of just very odd, very subversive kind of comic strips and stuff. So we have Mad Hops. The eagle definitely sort of feels very frozen to us, but that's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be separate or anything.
When I came across paw prints etched into the snow, I knew something wasn't right. I couldn't find my family, so I followed that path. The path out of the valley.
Okay. Well, I don't see paw prints etched into the snow except for my own ones. I mean, there was a giant paw there. I guess that's what the paw prints they're talking about. I do like the voice acting. Oh, this is not the way. This is the way, I guess. Right? Now...
I found myself in the middle of a vast and complex cave system that spread like the branches of an old oak tree through the mountainous East Falls.
So the voice acting sounds real, but I am suspicious. I feel like it might be text-to-speech. One of my subscribers often tells me that the text-to-speech is getting really good, and so far I haven't been able to successfully nail this down as text-to-speech. So if it is text-to-speech, they've picked a really good version of it. Or they've done enough modifications on how it talks and stuff to make sure that it's doing the right thing. I think I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I'm worried you guys can't hear what's going on. There is some like nice music in the background and stuff that's happening.
I found reminders of my family within the valley. My relatives had disappeared, and I was desperately trying to reconnect with them. My siblings, my father, and my mother were seemingly wiped away from the face of the planet.
Okay, so this is definitely not text-to-speech. That was very heartfelt. So there was like some good emotions there. I like it. Oh, look at this. They're moonwalking. Moonwalking deer. Oh, there they go. And I'll jump over because that's fun. Yeah, so the voice acting, yeah, I'm with it now. I like it. Not that I didn't like it before, but that delivery there, I'm like definitely with it now. I like it a lot more. This voice acting is much better than the voice acting from the start about saving the planet and stuff. Just putting that out there in case the developers are watching, and I'm sure that they are because they were very very insistent that I play their game for the channel. You know, they were contacting me on my channel and stuff, and wanting to talk to me and saying, "Hey, can you play our game? Can you play our game?" Unfortunately, their email had gone to my spam folder, and I'm not sure why. I usually get the key emails and stuff, but we're here, we're playing it now, and I'm glad to be playing it.
An abandoned primitive society were scattered all around me. Signs of a time of harmony and balance flooded my eyes. I continued my search for my family and headed toward the waterfall.
Right, I guess we're headed towards the waterfall. Right? What's that? This little rabbit. So the other animals are not coded particularly well, are they? Oh. Also, the sound... Well, why is the water flowing that way? Okay. Right, we're loading again. Alright, so invisible loading screens, that's okay. Nothing wrong with a loading screen. It'd be better if it was sort of less abrupt. Oh, I found some horses. But it's not voice act. The campsite holds the answer to this fallen tree located at the bottom of the valley in order to get past it and further uncover the truth about your family's fate. Okay. We're finding some ice. Oh, what happened to our eagle friend? Why did our eagle friend just suddenly like leave? I don't really understand that, but that's okay. The game did not explain sufficiently why our eagle friend is no longer with us, but we will soldier on, or wolf on? Wait, are we a wolf? Yeah, we're some sort of albino wolf thing with red eyes. That's cool. What's this?
More clues of a revolution. With the invention of the basic machinery used to mass manufacture products came the greatest environmental impact ever.
Right. Here's some deer. These ones aren't moonwalking, though. These ones are not related to the moonwalking deer. What happens if we stand in front of them? Will they moonwalk then? No, they won't. Okay. Oh, we found like a little town or whatever.
Civilizations began to advance, consuming everything in their way. Entire species were wiped from the planet as humanity demanded and consumed more and more.
The pigs don't exist. That's fine. Stuff doesn't have to exist, I guess. The point is to be telling the story, and that's what we're enjoying the story. All right, so I'm guessing we're not supposed to be able to get up there. It's not going to stop me from trying, though. All right, no. Okay, so that's I won't waste much time doing that. I'm not. It said to go to the bottom of the valley, but like, because they've made the distance like really foggy, it's hard to tell where I am. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they've decided that, but that's okay. So far, it's very pretty. It's nice and calming. It's very relaxing. Yeah, it's not bad. We're making our way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, and homebound. We're actually looking for the bottom of the valley. I don't know. Is this the right... I feel like we're just going around in a circle. I mean, there could be a loading screen somewhere, and I just don't know about it. That's part of the problem here. Okay. I like this music, though. It's very momentous and depressing. It's the sort of music you would watch. It's like that other Fox game or whatever. It kind of feels like that. But like maybe made by a smaller studio or something. Yeah, it's got those same kind of vibes. Alright. So I'm just looking for the next bit of content. So this is where we came from. This is literally where so we've just been around in a big circle. All right. What are we meant to be doing? Is there like an exit somewhere? I don't know. I'm going to fast forward, I guess. I'll fast forward.
During the search for my lost family, I uncovered a disturbing fact. The greed of humanity led to oil leaks all over the East Falls, devouring entire ecosystems and coating them in a layer of thick oil.
Alright, so we were supposed to go the other way. So I have done that. Apparently this is a fully oil-slicked area that we're having to navigate our way through. That's why everything's black, because it destroyed the humans destroyed the ecosystem. So we're dealing with some oil slicks.
I discovered a dead beaver amongst the shrubbery.
Did I?
Its body coated in oil caused by humanity's need for fossil fuels, despite their environmental impact.
Right. I mean, heavy-handed a little bit, but that's okay. What happens if we fall in the water? Can we get out of the water? I mean... Right. So those are optional. Those little paths, they're optional. That's good. Good to know. Oh, here we go. Hint, swim to the central island to progress to the next part of the story. Got it. Alright. I will swim to the central island. So there was a hint. Of course. We will go to the next part of the story. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Yeah. So the cuts are very abrupt. Especially that one with the center of the thing.
After a long search for my family, I found myself in the midst of a charred forest once home to an abundance of life. Now, all that remained were the burnt stumps of the pine trees that once spread far and wide.
Right. So, but there aren't just burnt stumps. There's like full-on trees. Look, I'm not trying to be rude to the game. The game is good. I like it, but there are some problems for sure. If the narration is gonna say there's nothing but burnt stumps, then that's what there needs to be. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I don't know where we're supposed to be going. But I'm just running in a straight line. I'm hoping that the game will show me where I'm meant to be going. I know I'm supposed to be running through like a burnt forest, but it doesn't actually feel like a burnt forest. It just kind of feels like a forest where the branches, the leaves have fallen off the tree. Excuse me. Right. Okay. So I'm just going in a circle now. Yep, we're gonna circle around and see if we can find some content. Maybe I'll fast forward again. The finale will load in 25 seconds. Right, so we get a
There I was,
Oh, it's gonna do it
standing
again.
at the paws of my family.
Right.
Finding Ice was inspired by the 10,000 species lost as a result of humanity every year. This game depicts the future without action. We must stop all investments in fossil fuels. We must stop the biodiversity crisis. We must invest in a renewable future.
Hard agree.
Join the fight
Yep.
for our world. Learn more at WWF, World Wildlife Fund.
Totally agree. Yep. I mean, they're right. You know, we need to move to renewable energy. It's not wrong. So I don't know what's happening now. Right. So we finished the game. We beat the game. Let's go look at the description and see what the game has to say for itself. And yeah, we'll go do that. All right, Finding Ice. In this one-of-a-kind story game, the player must explore vast worlds through a third-person Arctic wolf, complete puzzles, collect items, and reconnect with nature. So that's a little bit misleading. There's no puzzles to complete. There's no items to collect. There's nothing really along those lines at all. It is just a walking simulator, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know why it's trying to say that it's completing puzzles. There's no puzzles to complete. Anything that might have been a puzzle, they tell you how to solve it. It's like go behind the waterfall, go to the center island where it will abruptly cut away. Yeah, I mean, so from a storytelling point of view, so I do have a degree in English. It's my specialty, storytelling and stuff. I'm a writer as well. From a storytelling point of view, the finding your family lying there dead because of the humans, finding your family lying there dead because of the humans doesn't pack very much punch. And the reason for that is that it's never established that they're interesting to the player in the first place. We care about the wolf that we are, the one that we're running around, because, you know, we just by nature of us controlling that wolf, we care about that wolf. The other wolves we don't care about as much because we never met them. We actually don't know them. Saying that we're looking for our family goes a little bit towards that, but there's just no oomph to it. There's no bite. There's no, I care about what happens to these other wolves. if there were, say, a scene at the start where, you know, you established that they were like a happy family, and you went out looking for food one day and you came back and they were gone, and that there was maybe a reason for them to be gone, then them being dead at the end would really pack a punch. But as it is, it doesn't, because we don't know them. We don't know how many of them there are. When I saw like 4 dead wolves, I was like, is this his family, or is this just a group of dead wolves? We've come across a bunch of other dead animals. So, you know, what are we actually finding here? So the problem that we're running into is that we have no stakes. The stakes are, you know, Earth and humans and are, you know, biodiversity and stuff. And I'm not saying those aren't important, but if you're trying to tug at people's heartstrings by showing them a story they should care about, then you need to tug at those heartstrings. You need to get in there and really and pull them. And the best way to do that is to establish that we care about the other wolves, you know, that they're an important part of our life, and then suddenly they're gone. And that gives the whole journey meaning, because we're looking for them and we see all this destruction, and we need more than just like a paw over top of stuff. We need like signs that they've passed. We need signs that we're on the right track, because as it was, I just sort of ran the directions that I ran because that's kind of what the game looked like it wanted me to do. It wasn't any sort of organic kind of, I'm trying to find my family. It was like, oh, where is the next point of interest so that I can make the narration play? So just from a storytelling and gaming standpoint, then the journey needs to be connected to the emotional strings you're trying to pull. The message that you're sending is awesome. I love it. Great. We need to make changes. We need to protect the earth. We need to invest in renewable energy. I'm all for that. Totally. I'm right there with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'll beat that drum all day. I'll put a link to that World Wildlife Federation link in the description as well. So if you want to check that out, if what you saw here is interesting, or even if you just want to find out more about that stuff, then I'll put a link to that in the description. You can check that out. But just from a gaming standpoint, I think that there's a lot that could be done to make this a more emotionally, narratively, and experientially rich experience. I was going to say experience, but that's tautology. Experientially rich game. I feel like there's the nugget of a good thing here. There's quite a lot of good visuals. I don't know where the eagle went. That's the other thing, is that like the cuts and stuff are really abrupt. There's no explanation for them. So if I don't want to tell you how to I don't want to tell you how to make a game. I'm not a game developer. I am just a teller of stories and an experiencer and consumer of stories. But a good time to cut away, to, you know, go loading, to cut to like a new scene, would be when the wolf found signs of his family's passing. So you explore through this really green area, and then you find paw prints, right? Like you talked about that. But have us find the actual paw prints in the dirt or whatever, and then cut to the next set piece, and we can see more paw prints leading off into a direction, and we follow those paw prints. Do you know what I mean? And then they disappear, but we're still searching. We're looking for the next signs, and we run into these signs of humans destroying the environment, that kind of stuff. And then we find more paw prints, and it takes us to the next set piece, and to the next set piece. You know, and this is all established at the start. The reason that we're on this quest is we're looking for our family. You establish that we have this family. Maybe you have us do a little mini game of getting them some food or something, and then we're just about to get them some food, and a human comes and takes the food or dumps a bunch of stuff in the river or what. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not the developer, but give us a reason to care about the journey, more than just a tour through some sort of voxely, colorful devastation. Yeah. So that's my feedback. That's where I think this could be better. And I'm giving so much feedback because I think that there's a good game here. I think it's got stuff to say, and I like that they have stuff to say, but I'd like it even better if it was saying it in an effective manner, because nothing is more frustrating than seeing a message that you agree with being delivered in a way that means that people aren't going to experience it, or follow up on it or understand it. Yeah, that's frustrating for me, and I would love to be able to provide this feedback, and hopefully it helps. It currently costs $13.16, so it's about a 19-minute experience. So that is that's just the price is too high. Yeah, it costs too much money. Yeah, $13.16 right now, or $15.49 for the full priced experience. That's too much. The voice acting was really good. The high point here is the voice acting. I really like the voice acting narration. The voice acting at the start wasn't as good, but the voice acting narration was really good. I liked that. The visuals are quite nice, but for the time that we're spending in the game, it's not worth that price. People aren't going to pay that much for the short experience that you get. And it wasn't like I critical pathed it. I did go exploring. I circled all around and stuff. So if you knew where you were going, the game would take about 8 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is. So what I would prefer to see is something like maybe $9 or $10 or something, and it would say, every time you purchase this game, 20% of the sales go to the World Wildlife Federation or whatever to help preserve the planet for the future, or something like that. That's how you're trying to generate those sympathy things. You're trying to get people, raise awareness, trying to get people involved, trying to get people to think about this stuff. Then you need to walk the walk and talk if you're talking the talk here in the game, you need to walk the walk. You need to encourage people to get the game because you're also supporting it, supporting the message that you're delivering in the game. We're now 8 minutes into this reading, and I haven't even read the about the game part yet. So we're going to do that now. Embark upon a unique and tear-jerking journey. Once again, it's not tear-jerking because we're never established that those other wolves are people that we care about or know, or even know how many of them there are. So we have no information about them other than that there's this nebulous group of wolves that are his family or their family or her family. And then you turn up and there's like a bunch of them and they're just sort of laying there dead. And it's not really clear what they died from. They're just laying there dead. They could literally be asleep. So it's not really tear-jerking because there's nothing establishing, there's nothing, pulling at my heartstring.
We're the only species on Earth that observes Shark Week. Sharks don't even observe Shark Week, but we do. For the same reason, I can pick up this pencil, tell you its name is Steve, and go like this. Oh. And part of you dies. Just a little bit on the inside.
About an Arctic wolf and his mission to discover his past in the face of climate change. Explore the vast wilderness that surrounds the East Falls, uncovering clues as to what happened in his past life. Where's this past life stuff coming from? I thought he was looking for his family. Set in the imaginary East Falls Mountains, Finding Ice takes the player on a one-of-a-kind experience to discover how man-made climate change has devastated the once sprawling and stunning landscape. Why does it need to be imaginary? We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going. It just could literally be anywhere, and it would still make sense. Anyways, the player must reconnect with nature in order to progress to the next phase of the story game. They must complete puzzles and collect items in order to progress to the next phase of this beautiful story. You don't. You literally don't. Explore many stylized maps as a third-person Arctic wolf. We do that. Uncover an emotional story with an outstanding soundtrack. It does have an outstanding soundtrack. Discover the East Falls alongside a variety of pets, each with unique characteristics. There was an eagle, and he did nothing. Interact with outstanding AI animal NPCs. There's no interactions, they just exist, and they're not outstanding. They sort of moonwalk and do backward stuff. I would take a lot of this stuff out, because in the absence of this, the stuff in the game is forgivable. With this sort of stuff written into the description, the stuff in the game is not forgivable. So you need to tidy this up. There aren't puzzles. You don't collect any items. You just go around and listen to some narration. It's Dear Esther. This is not Firewatch. There's no puzzles for us to solve. You just go around and that's it. Uncover a seemingly untouched world through a third-person Arctic wolf and discover the truth about the catastrophe unfolding before your eyes. But it's not untouched. Discover clues of a past long forgotten. Will you reconnect with nature and help the natural world, or will you be a bystander to one of the greatest catastrophes ever? So I know that they're trying to direct this at the player, They're trying to say, if you play this game, you can help heal the natural world, or will you be a bystander? But this game, you literally are a bystander to the thing being destroyed. I don't know. The description needs work, man, because the game is not what it says here. There are some elements of it there, but yeah. Let's have a look at some of the reviews. I really love playing Finding Ice. The game is beautiful, and the story is well written and narrated. The audio is crisp and clear. 5 out of 5, great game. Alright. Finding Ice is a relaxing, multi-level, open-world experience with a meaningful and impactful message behind it. The gameplay is smooth, the story is easy to follow, the soundtrack is memorable and soothing, the visuals are crisp, and the level design is remarkable. I would highly recommend taking the time to play through the game from start to finish. I mean, sure. I'm probably going to give it a thumbs up as well, but I have concerns about the price. I have concerns about the description. And yeah, the story could be better. The story could be just more tightly written in a way that actually is tear-jerking. If they're going for tear-jerking, just having dead puppies at the end is not going to make people cry. People are pretty desensitized. You need to give them a reason to care. You know, you need to give them a reason to care. So let's look at Dance to Studios as a developer. First game, only game. Look, it's not a bad game. It's pretty good, in fact. I'd say it's like on the way to being like quite good, but it costs too much. And it's missing the correct levers to tug at my heartstrings. The voice acting's really good. The visuals are solid. The message is great. Yeah, really good. But the game has some issues, and I've expounded upon them quite significantly now, and we're going to leave it. So thanks for watching. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Check out this game by clicking on the link in the description. You can also check out the World Wildlife Federation, which they linked there at the end of their at the end of the game, which I will also put a link to in the description. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Class dismissed.